Alrighty then. What's up, everybody? Peter Gilmore here for this late night video right here on Peter Gilmore YouTube Wrestling Channel, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button down below, and subscribe to my other channels, which are always down below in the description box. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and share this video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap that bell, turn on all my notifications, so you never ever miss an upload. That's all you gotta do. So, like the video, dislike the video. I don't give a fuck what you do. But thank you for the views anyway. So, hate, comment, share, do whatever you want. That's all I gotta say about that. Don't forget to subscribe, share the videos all over the internet, and don't forget to tap that goddamn piece of shit bell. Get notified when I do a video, because if you miss out, well, that's your fucking loss, dumbass. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Wednesday night, June the 16th, 2021, or if you're watching now from somewhere else, it's after midnight. Gonna get it on. All right, it's after midnight here in the Northeast, or wherever you may be. If you're watching, it is now June the 17th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time right now. Get ready, buckle up, grab yourself a cold one, or whatever you may have, a nice beverage, maybe something to eat, maybe some ice cream, whatever, but get ready, because it is time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for your NXT review for June the 15th, 2021, from the Capitol Wrestling Center in St. Petersburg, Florida, with fans. Yep. The fans are back in NXT, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of fans, but decent size amount of fans at the Capitol Wrestling Center. Hopefully they can get more fans as time goes on until the rest of this year. But we'll see what happens with that. And maybe NXT will get out of the Capitol Wrestling Center, and do takeovers like we've seen before. Take over Portland, take over Brooklyn, stuff like that. But we'll see what happens over the next 6 months. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. All right, before I get to the AEW review, just want to talk about a couple of things real quick, especially with AEW. I know it's not an AEW review, but I want to talk about AEW anyway. AEW, the viewership went up a little bit. This past Friday night, they went up to 400, close to about, it was 486, 492, somewhere around there. Still under 500,000 views, and then all the shills and the marks and the haters just continue to make fun of AEW because they're on Friday night for the next couple weeks. And, what are you going to do? You think Tony Khan really cares? I know it is what it is, but I can guarantee you when they go back to Wednesday nights beginning on July the 7th with Road Rager, their first set of semi-pay-per-views for the whole month of July, I can almost guarantee they'll get back up to close to 1 million. They'll get back up to close to 1 million. Of course, there'll be no more basketball for basically almost the rest of the year, except they do a game on a Wednesday night when basketball returns in, I think, October. So, but by the time AEW will have their Rampage show on Friday night, and it'll probably get like 300,000 views, and everybody's gonna be like, Rampage sucks. AEW sucks. I can't even get 1 million views on their Rampage show. It is what it is. I mean, but I can almost guarantee by the time July comes, they'll probably get back up to 700,000, almost 900,000 on a Wednesday night. They'll get back up to 1 million hopefully by maybe the end of July or August. But we'll see. And that's pretty much it. But the big news for AEW today is that they are coming back. Yes, they are coming back to the New York, New Jersey tri-state area in September. September the 15th. They are coming back to the Prudential Center. Oh, yes. Tickets go on sale, I believe they go on sale tomorrow or next week. I actually forget when tickets go on sale. And I already put in my reservation. So yeah, I will be going to AEW at the Prudential Center. So it's a hop, skip, and jump away for me. So when it ends at 10 o'clock or so, by the time I come back, it's like 11:30. So like 11:30. So I'm there. I'm there. So I probably will be going to the Prudential Center on September the 15th. And the week after, AEW makes its New York City, well, not New York City, but their New York debut at Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York City, as Joey Styles used to say when ECW used to come to the Elks Lodge in Queens, New York City back in the day. But AEW is coming to town the week after, September the 22nd, for Dynamite, as they're calling it, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. No, I don't know what that means. A lot of people saying that it might be a big show. Not that kind of big show, but big show with maybe some stars from Dynamite, from AEW, maybe from Impact, maybe from AAA, maybe from Impact, like I said, and maybe New Japan. But I don't know. We'll see what happens on it. I think because Tony Khan was on WFAN today hyping the shows, and I think he kind of said Grand Slam as a like Grand Slam tennis, if you will. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, AEW going to Arthur Ashe Stadium, which is like basically a tennis stadium that can hold about 15,000 people. It's right near where the Mets play. So I mean, I don't know if the Mets are playing that day. I don't have my book with me, but yeah, sadly I'm not going to that one. So I would love to because because it's in Queens, and I want to go. I want to go to a New York show, but I'm not going to the Prudential Center. But it is what it is. But it's a little bit of ways away from me, but it is what it is. But tickets go on sale, I believe, soon. Well, I think it's in a couple of days. I think it's today. Or I don't know when they go on sale. I forgot what day, but yeah. So get your tickets now because they're gonna be sold out. And thank you for the view, motherfucker. Yeah, it keeps going 1-0, 1-0. I know it's trolls because they can't do anything about it because they're little chickens. That's all I can say about that. So AEW is coming to the Arthur Ashe Stadium, and they don't have to worry about rain because if it does rain, they have a retractable roof, which is great. So if it does thunder and lightning and Satan comes down or something like that, all the fans are protected. The ring won't be wet, and yeah, so they don't have to worry about anything. So this will be the first time that AEW is in New York. They could have went to the Barclays Center. They could have went to New York, but they decided to go to a little rinky-dink, not a rinky-dink, but they decided to go to a tennis stadium in Queens. And yeah, so Dynamite, baby. Dynamite. September the 22nd on a Wednesday night in New York City. And I know my good buddy Mikey Mittens is going to both shows because he's, yes, they're running. Good buddy Heel Stevens going to the New Jersey show. So I'll see all my New Jersey peeps and some of my New York peeps. So that'll be a good old time on September the 15th. So get ready, little motherfuckers. Get ready for AEW in the Northeast. It's going to be great. 2 sold-out shows. I can only imagine. But if I can go to the New York show, I would. If they have last-minute tickets, I can get some, maybe something from StubHub. You know, if I have to sit all the way up top of Arthur Ashe Stadium, it's not a big freaking place. I mean, like, you know, if I can get a good seat, I'll go, and I'll have to, take a long ass train ride home because I have to get there by train. And it's a long ass train ride to get there, to get to Times Square, and then take the number 7 train all the way to where the tennis center is, and then take the 7 train all the way back to Times Square, and then get on the well, actually, I could take it to 34th Street, but I could take it to 42nd Street because it's right near where I have to go. So it is what it is, and that's all I got to say about that. All right, so that's pretty much it for AEW right there. That's it. All right, let's get to NXT. And NXT this yesterday was pretty decent, coming off the heels of pretty decent takeover show, Takeover in Your House 2. We saw Killer Cross defeat Adam Cole, baby, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete fucking Dunne, and Johnny Gargano to retain the NXT World Title. We have Raquel Gonzalez defeat Ember Moon to retain the NXT Women's Championship. And we also saw Xia Li defeat Mercedes Martinez, and MSK and Bronson Reed defended their titles and retained their titles against Legado del Fantasma. And that's it. So we're going to see what happens as we're now on the road to our next event, NXT Great American Bash 2 on July the 6th. And we got one match announced for that show, and it's a big-time match. And I'll get to that in just a second. And that's all I can say about that. And move on. All right, so let's start off this video, and chat room's open if you want to chat about NXT or whatever you want. But I'm gonna try to make this video a little bit quick because I want to do some other stuff before I go to bed. Because I got an early morning. I got to do some stuff in the morning, and then I gotta do some errands in the afternoon. And that's it. All right. So NXT last night, like I said, pretty decent. We had William Regal. We start off with William. Well, we get a little recap of Takeover and what happened at the end of Takeover with William Regal saying, "I've been here 7 years. I've never seen this much bedlam." And then we're all wondering, like, did he step down? Or was he? What's going on? The rumors of Samoa Joe might be on the show, and now that he got signed to NXT, he signed to WWE. Now it's gonna be NXT exclusive contract. So if he's on the show tonight, and I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so we start off with William Regal. He comes out for a little chat. Maybe have some tea. Would you like some tea with your tea, Mr. Regal? No, he didn't have that. So he comes out and talks about being with NXT from the very beginning, 7 years ago. No, I think more than 7 years ago. But including starting at the commentary desk for the very first Takeover show, which was 35 shows ago. It was about 7 years ago, if you think about it. So he's, well, why is my thing blinking? Okay, whatever. Get notifications. So anyway, NXT has grown throughout the last few years, and they have gone around the world, including to his hometown of Blackpool, which was NXT UK Takeover Blackpool. So Regal starts crying a little bit, gets a little bit emotional as he talks about everything that NXT has done for everyone involved. And he thanks everyone who took them to San Jose and Houston and Brooklyn, New York, and Portland. But now there is so much chaos going on that he doesn't know what to do. So Regal doesn't think he is capable of giving us what we deserve anymore. So as he's about to obviously step down, we got the music, the epic music and entrance of Killer Cross and his lovely manager, Scarlett Bordeaux. So Cross gets in the ring and tells Regal that he knew this was coming because he was going to control NXT with chaos and violence. What, no sex? I mean, you got Scarlet. Anyway, and he wants Regal to leave and admit that Cross has won. So before Regal can do anything, we get the music and the return of Samoa Joe. So Joe comes out to a nice ovation from the crowd. And Cross is like, oh shit. he's like, oh shit, my title's bye. So yeah, but sadly Joe's not medically cleared. So this would until we find out that he can wrestle again, but probably not going to be wrestling for a while. So Joe comes out, gets in Cross's face, and the stare down was fucking epic. Something was gonna happen, and I was waiting for something to happen. I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna get Joe versus Cross in the NXT title, and Cross is gonna get his ass kicked." But it is what it is. So Cross seems a little bit, scared. He's like, "Ooh, Mr. Joe." So Regal says Samoa Joe should be the new general manager. Joe understands what's absolutely not going to accept the job. So he's not going to be the general manager. So it looks like he'll be the enforcer, most likely. Regal has cast a large shadow for 7 years, and Joe made his job a nightmare when Joe was there, when he won the title back in the day. The whole thing with Shinsuke Nakamura and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. If you don't know, well, go watch some tapes. That's it. Now, he would like to make sure that Regal receives the respect that he rightfully deserves. So Regal thinks about it. He's like, this could work. But says Joe cannot be a competitor and cannot lay his hands on anyone unless he is provoked. I hate that thing. It's like you can't touch him unless you're provoked. So he grabs my dick. Oh, he provoked me. He grabbed my dick. It is what it is. Anyway, Joe accepts. I guess now he's going to be an enforcer, or I don't know what he is. Basically, just in NXT to be, excuse me, Regal's right-hand man. So, but he can't compete unless he is, can't lay his hands on anybody unless he's provoked. So Joe accepts and asks why Cross is still in the ring. And Cross is like, probably champ, bitch. Well, you can say it, but you could tell that's what I was going to say. And then Joe gets in his face, freaking epic, and goes, "Tick-tock, young champion." I was like, oh boy. If Joe gets cleared and we get this match, it's going to be fucking epic. So then the fans start singing, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, goodbye. As Scarlett and Killer Cross leave. And that was it. So, Cross, you may think that he owns NXT, but, you still, now you got an enforcer in Samoa Joe, and I would think that Mr. Cross would want to take back or rethink his little edict that he's going to take over NXT with chaos and violence and all that stuff. But it is what it is. So, that first segment, 3.5 stars. It was just, glad Joe's back. Which as a competitor wrestler, so we see him he's had totally injury prone. So much as like guys like me who knew Samoa Joe from early Ring of Honor when he held the longest one to hold the Ring of Honor belt at over 600 and some odd days. Over 2-year reign as champ, and his stuff with TNA, X Division champion, World champion, tag team champion at one point. All to I think Kurt Angle. I think when Kurt debuted in that epic moment when Kurt headbutted Joe, and Joe got up. He's busted wide open, and they just beat the crap out of Angle. And that awesome they had back in TNA 2006, I think it was, or 2007. It was just freaking epic. That's that. So we'll see what happens with Joe on his first day on the job. And hate to be him with all that chaos going around in NXT right now, but we'll see what happens with that. And we'll move on from there. All right, so like I said, 3.5 out of 5 stars for that. All right, after that, we see the grizzled young veterans, Gibson and Drake, getting ready for their Tornado Tag Team match and ready to take out Tommaso Ciampa, the Psycho Killer, and Timothy Thatcher, the man who has no teeth. And that's pretty much it. That's in the main event. We'll get there. We'll get there in a minute. All right, then we get to our first match. We get Imperium, Marcel Barthel, and Fabian Aichner as they take on Breeze Hungo of Tyler Breeze and our good buddy Fandango. So this match finally comes about after Walter, the NXT UK champion for over 800 days, still a champ. Don't know who's going to beat him at this point. Probably nobody. Yeah, his edict to basically have Aichner and Marcel Barthel take out Breezango on their road back to the tag team belts. We'll see what they can do. Match was okay. And starts out with Marcel Barthel and Tyler Breeze. Barthel holds Breeze down to start, but Breeze comes up with a jawbreaker to get him out of trouble. And then Fandango comes in for a drop kick, but Aichner pulls him into the armbar. And then he took some chops in the corner. Looks to set up a sunset flip. So Fandango is back with a leg drop. Breeze comes in, loads up a dive, but only gets the canvas. Nothing in the pool for you, sir. And which allowed Fandango to his own flippity dippity doo move to go back in and go back into the ring. And Fandango gets crushed on the top rope. And then Aichner hits an uppercut, body blow. No, sorry, wrong game. That, go to break. We come back with Aichner still hammering away at Fandango. Plants him with a slam. And Barthel comes in, grabs a Cobra Clutch. Fandango kicks him away. And he hits a big backdrop, which gets the hot tag to Tyler Breeze. Comes in and gets knocked down with a clothesline. But we're getting in the end, and it kept going on. And in the end, Tyler Breeze grabs a small package circa 1921, gets the 1, the 2, and the 3. So Breeze Hungo gets the win over Imperium. And that's pretty much it. So Breezango gets the win, and we'll see if the momentum can get them to a tag title shot against MSK later down the road. But we'll see. It sucks that Imperium lost, but it is what it is. Speaking of Imperium, after the match, they lay out Tyler Breeze, and they drape the Imperium flag over him. And that's it. So they really beat the crap out of him after that. So this looks like the Imperium Breezango feud will continue on. And lots of good stuff going on in the tag team division right now. Imperium, you got Breezango, you got MSK, the champs, you got Thatcher, you got Thatcher, and you got the grizzled young veterans all going for that. And we'll see what happens. And it also got, don't forget, look out, Ultimate Phantasma. You got really 6 tag teams going on for that belt. Actually, 5 champs. You know what I mean. That's what it is. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So, pretty decent match. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Not a bad match per se, but the beatdown afterwards was kind of you kind of figured that was going to happen with what Mr. Walter said to Aichner and those belt, and see what happens with that. and we move on from there. All right. Then we go to the back. We see a fight going on between good buddies, cool baby, and the weak ass security teams trying to pick it up. Regal's there to break it up. I mean, what can he do? And then Joe comes in. Well, before Joe comes in, they try to break it up. Regal says they can fight at the Great American Bash one-on-one, no unsanctioned match like they have Stand and Deliver this time. Just one-on-one, straight up at the Great American Bash on July 6th. So that's your first official match for that show, which is going to be awesome. I hope it's the main event, but it probably won't be. But it probably I would think it'll be a semi-main event because it'll probably be an NXT World Title match on that show. But we'll see what happens with that. But until then, they can pick their opponents to fight next week. So pick your poison match next week. So Adam Cole will be in action next week, and I think Kyle will also be in action, but they don't know who they're going to fight. So, which kind of sucks for Adam Cole. Well, both the guys. It sucks for both guys. You can't pick who's going to fight until you're in the ring and you're like, oh, somebody coming out. Who's going to come out? Oh, it's the Undertaker. It is what it is. So we get that. Right, so they continue to fight, and then Joe comes in to kind of move them out, and he pushes Adam Cole away, and then Cole comes in. He shoves Joe. That ain't gonna work. No, you don't push Joe. So Joe gets pissed, takes off his jacket, and just grabs Adam Cole from behind, just chokes him the fuck out, and that's it. That's it. And then he yells at Regal, says when he wakes up, he can give you an answer, Mr. Regal. And that's it. So, Joe is on the warpath. He was on the warpath last night, and I wouldn't be one to mess with Samoa Joe. And that's especially if your name is Adam Cole, baby. That's all I gotta say about that. So two things came out of this: Cole O'Reilly 2. At the Great American Bash on July the 6th, and Cole basically getting choked out by Samoa Joe being forced. So I gave that 3 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, then we see a vignette, and we see this during most of the night. We see an image of a battery charging, and it's dead. Then it just goes up to 1%. Then later on, it goes up to like 9%, 10%, up to 21%. We don't know who this is. I don't even know who this is. I don't know if it's a returning superstar or somebody new. I don't know, because they're talking about the Diamond Mine is opening next week. Now, from what I heard from JD, and I don't really listen to JD, but it is what it is, that the Diamond Mine is this NXT Evolve show. Take that with a grain of salt, but we'll see what happens with that this coming Tuesday night on the program, and what this battery thing might mean. Maybe it's a new thing for NXT, and like it might be the Evolve show. And it could be anything. It could be a new star we haven't seen in a long time. Or somebody like I said, it could be somebody new, or it could be a returning superstar. Maybe somebody from the main roster comes down to NXT, or somebody from that used to be in NXT is coming back, like maybe a Roderick Strong, or who knows at this point. But that's something like that over the next couple weeks, and when he or she or whatever it is happens, and we'll find out hopefully in the next coming weeks, and that's that. All right, after that, we see Santos Escobar of the Garotan Fantasma, and he is pissed. And he's not like Bronson Reed putting him through a wall like he did at the pay-per-view, where he put him through the plexiglass wall right in front of the fans. He says Reed has revealed a weakness, but now is going to be one-on-one. And this time, he'll pick Reed up and let Gravity do the rest on the way to the North American title. So we'll see Santos Escobar and Dustin Reed probably one on maybe at the Great American Bash. We'll see what happens with that, and we'll move on from there, and that's that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. All right, match number 2. Number 2 for the Cruiserweight title, Kushida with his open challenge. Now we all know last week he fought Christian Casanova, who is now known as Carmelo Hayes. This week he faces Trey Baxter, who's also known as Blake Christian, who we all know, well, most of you know from the indie scene. I think he wrestled in Evolve. I think I don't really remember, but I do know who Blake Christensen is. But pretty good wrestler, very good wrestler, and we'll see if he can be up for the challenge for Kushida, like Mr. Carmelo Hayes was last week. Where he gave Kushida a run for his money and was this close to winning the Cruiserweight title. But we'll see what Blake Christensen can do, Trey Baxter, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. So he cuts a little promo saying that he promises to show that he is all heart. But match was okay, not like last week when I was with him and with Kushida and Christian Casanova, which was freaking epic. This match went almost 10.5 minutes. Wasn't anything great. Still pretty decent for what it was. They start off, circling each other, kind of feeling each other out. Not like that. Baxter grabs a roll-up for a near fall. Then he hits a running Hurricane Rana, which sends Kushida into the corner. And then he hits an Enziguri in the corner. Kushida gets draped ribs first over the top rope and sent to the floor for a big dive by Mr. Baxter. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes out to watch from the stage. So that might be something interesting that I never would have thought of. Kyle O'Reilly possibly going for the Cruiserweight title. Not that he needs it, but maybe he's scouting Kushida. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. So we go to break, we come back. Kushida hits a 1919 atomic drop. Goes for a running kick to face, but missed it. But he hits an Enziguri. And then Baxter hits a handspring kick to face. Then hits Spanish Fly into a springboard 450 for a near fall on both attempts. They go up top with Kushida hitting a super flying armbar, which set up the hoverboard lock, and Mr. Baxter had to tap out at the 10.5 minute mark. So Kushida retains the title. Not that he's had, but besides last week when he had a pretty hard time, retaining against Christian Casanova. But this week, I think he had a much easier time with Blake Christian, and we'll see what happens with that. And we'll see what happens. So match was all right. Gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, Kushida shakes his hand. Another great code of honor, which is awesome. Kushida. I like to see the. Why can't we see the honor in WWE most times? You rarely see it now. Unless it's two guys like Undertaker handshake at the end of the match. Exactly. WrestleMania or something like that, some big event. You don't see it much in NXT. Did it last week to Christian Casanova. Now he's doing it this week with Blake Christensen. It's good. I like to see the code of honor. That's what we should have. Every match should have the code of honor. I don't care if you don't like the person, just do the code of honor. All promotions should have the code of honor. But I think most indie shows have the code of honor. But it is what it is. Anyway, so they shake hands. And then Kyle O'Reilly gets in the ring and has to face Kushida next week. Ooh, interesting. So not the pick your poison match that we all thought that Adam Cole would have maybe picked. He might pick some guy like maybe Killer Cross to kick his ass or something like that. But we're gonna get Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. Now I don't know if this is for the title or it's a non-title match. But still, it's going to be not AJ Styles phenomenal, but a phenomenal match. I can't wait for this. And I believe they have fought in Runner. My memory serves me correct. I think they fought maybe once in Ring of Honor, or maybe in Japan as well. But I have to look at the tapes, though. But this is going to be a great match next week. NXT is loaded with great matches every week. And that's why NXT is the better, is basically the A show right now. SmackDown is kind of like the B show, and Raw is the F show. But that's all it gets every week is a big fat F. Because it sucks. And I don't know, I haven't seen the ratings for Raw yet. I'll look later, but probably not going to be that great. Because it was Go this week. The go home show before Hell in a Cell, when it ended with that 6-man tag team match with Drew McIntyre and War Machine taking on AJ Omos and Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley took the pin. AJ, he was looking to tag Omos, but then he was like, oh, missed Omos, and he tagged in Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby's like, what? What'd you tag me for? And the next thing, boom, Claymore country, Claymore kick, and Drew McIntyre pins the champ. And that's pretty much it. So it is what it is. I'll talk more about Raw probably tomorrow. And then that'll be it. Unless there's something big that happens tomorrow in the afternoon and evening. We'll see if I do another video after that, but we'll see. But probably not. Because I want to get ready for Friday when we have AEW and SmackDown once again. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Then I got 198 with my Hell in a Cell predictions, probably sometime Saturday afternoon or early Saturday night. But we'll see what happens with that. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, next week, Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly. And we'll see what happens with that match. So, should be some good shit. Some good shit. Vince McMahon said, oh, that's good shit there, Hunter. And Hunter's like, I don't know, Vince. I think you're kind of mental. What do you think about my proboscis there, Vince? What do you think? That's good shit, Hunter. But it is what it is. Speaking of Triple H, we got my good buddy Chuck Rules 321 in the chat. He says Triple H basically said, F you to Vince and brought Joe back. Yeah, that's what happened. He was Triple H was the one to bring Joe back. I still don't understand why the WWE released him to only bring him back. That's what I want to know. Why did you release him? Instead of releasing Joe, why didn't you release Byron Saxton? I'm just saying. Or, kept Joe on commentary. You could have kept Joe on commentary, put Saxton maybe on SmackDown or 205 Live, but I really don't want him in any. Well, let's put it this way: Byron Saxton should be gone from Raw because he's boring. I don't care if he goes to SmackDown and it's with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Okay? Because I like Pat McAfee, even though he's a prick that starts talking shit about my boy Adam Cole, baby. But he's great on commentary. Way better than Michael Cole, in my opinion. So, if you bring him to SmackDown, you put Byron Saxton on SmackDown, or you put him on main event, which I think he does main event anyway. Nobody watches it. Put him on 205 Live, or God forbid, put him in 205 Live. Get rid of Beth fucking Phoenix. Not that I want to hear Vic Joseph, Byron Saxton, and Wade about it. When I watch NXT, that's the only person I listen to. I don't really listen to Vic Joseph that much. I listen to Bad News, Wade Barrett. Oh, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. Oh man, I want Wade Barrett to go back in the ring. I really do. Been too long since he's gone. I think I know this whole the last time I saw him it was like a few years ago, and then he got injured with his elbow, and then that's the last time we saw Wade Barrett. He got released after that, which was sad. And really, he didn't do anything. And next time we saw Stu Bennett or Wade Barrett, it was when he took over for Jim Asshole Cornette in the NWA. And then WWE came calling. I think Hunter came calling and said, Stu, we could use another commentator. Would you like to do that? And Stu's like, sign me up, dude. Sign me up. They had no problem. I don't think, Vince and company had any problems with Stu Bennett, Wade Barrett, whatever you want to call them. They had no problems. I think they had a mutual agreement that, no hard feelings when he got released because he was injury prone, but now he's back and amazing. He's just awesome on commentary. Awesome. I liked how yesterday basically he just blasted freaking Vic Joseph and Beth fucking Phoenix for something about MSK. I think it was. It was about something. He just went off. It was great, and that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, now Joe's back in the company. In NXT, exclusively to NXT. So he's going to be there for a while. So among other people that might be coming back to NXT. But or maybe going to the main roster like Fiend Balor. And maybe Adam Cole. Hopefully not, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, going back to this comment, they released Joe without telling Hunter. Maybe they did. Maybe they. I don't know. I still don't understand the reason why they got rid of Joe. I don't understand the reason. We saw him at WrestleMania, with Michael Cole and all that other stuff. Him and the Poncho when there was a torrential thunderstorm on night 1, and then we saw him on night 2, and then I don't know if we saw him on Raw. I think it was the last time we saw him because I don't think we saw him on Raw. Yeah, and we didn't see him on Raw because Byron Saxton was there with Adnan Virk and Corey Graves. That was like, I'm thinking, we heard the news that he got released. I'm like, why? Like 30 people got released and Joe was one of them. I'm like, why did Joe get released? And you bring back that slut Eva Marie. I'm not gonna be started with that. Please. Her and Piper Niven debuting on Raw on Monday night. And Piper Niven's freaking new name is they named her Doobie? Something like that? Doobie? I read Doobie? Really? Doobie. Wow, name him after a slang term for a joint. Doobie. Or Dubin or whatever it was. Well, I wish I had my friend Nick in here because he's like the historian. But it is what it is. Really. They don't even mention her on the broadcast. They're like, who the hell is this? We don't know who this is. You don't watch tapes, you don't watch NXT. I guess people don't care about NXT UK. Like, Vince doesn't give two shits about NXT UK. That they don't know who the hell Piper Niven is. But now she's affiliated with that slut Eva Marie. And what happened with that, Piper Niven squashes, no pun intended, but it was supposed to be Eva Marie and Naomi, and then Eva comes out and saying, Piper Niven's going to fight her. And what happens? Naomi gets buried. So thanks for coming, Naomi. Go back to catering. I felt bad for Naomi. I went on Twitter on Monday night. It was like Naomi should just get released. Just release Naomi. Let her go to AEW or go to Impact. That's freaking disrespectful to Naomi, a former SmackDown Women's Champion. And that's how you treat her? She was out for like a year, as well as Jimmy. Jimmy comes back now. Is in a big time storyline with his brother Jay and freaking our good buddy, our tribal chief Roman Reigns. While Naomi's sitting on her ass at home, doing whatever to Jimmy. I don't care what she does, and basically in catering, waiting to do something. And then she gets pitted. She gets put in a tag team with Lana that went nowhere. And then Lana gets released. Now she's basically in obscurity again. Back to catering, you go. And then she gets squashed, literally by Piper Niven of all people. And then all these idiotic marks coming out and fact shaming Piper Niven. That pisses me off. That pissed me off. I mean, you fans out there in YouTube land and on social media need to get a fucking clue. You don't see me. I'm not fat, except my beard. But fact shaming everybody. I mean, it really is stupid. I mean, it's fucking stupid. These fucking wrestling fans, if you will, they're not wrestling fans. They're fucking marks. They're idiots. They don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. Don't know anything about the world of professional wrestling. All they do is come on YouTube and on social media. It's like, wrestling sucks. AEW sucks. 492,000 views. WWE's the greatest. Marks, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking marks. That's why wrestling is the way it is. There's videos going around saying like, marks killed wrestling, and I agree. These smart marks, these dweebs that go on YouTube and social media, they just don't know fucking god all about wrestling. They killed it. They killed it. Fans, I mean, some fans, not all fans, but some fans have killed the sport of professional wrestling. And it's true. It's true. It's just sad. With the way that fans treat other fans, and fans treat, the men and women that are in are wrestling. It doesn't matter what federation you're in. It's an indie fed. It could be an indie fed, Ring of Honor, WWE, New Japan. You get these idiotic marks that don't know anything. All I gotta say is fuck them. And that's all I gotta say about that. But going back to the original point of Joe coming back, yeah, Hunter brought him back. Hunter was the guy that brought him back, and I'm glad that Hunter brought him back, because it was kind of stupid for whoever released him, was probably Vince or maybe John Laurinaitis, that fired him because they didn't need him. They were like, we don't got the money for him. That's why everybody else got cut, because of budget cuts, or you just didn't need them anymore. It is what it is. That's all I gotta say about it. But I'm glad Joe's back in NXT, where it should have stayed before coming up to the main roster. But when he came up to the main roster, they screwed him up. One meaningless United States title reign, and that's it. And then a pretty meh feud with AJ, holding with, hello, Wendy. I'm your daddy now. What happened with that? It wasn't a great feud, not like the TNA days or the Ring of Honor days. But still, it just was. All right, my buddy from Mexico, Alejandro Katza, says, for a moment so Joe was going to be the new GM, but the decision I make now was worth it. Well, you didn't make the decision. I know what you're saying, but you did not make the decision there, Alejandro. That was Regal's decision. It was his decision. And by the way, thank you for another dislike. Fucker! And that's basically it. So, but yeah, Hunter made the decision to bring him back. And with his new position, basically an enforcer to Regal, but he can't touch anybody unless provoked. So it is what it is. So we'll see what happens with that. And I think we see more of Joe later on in the show, and I'll get to that in just a second. But it is what it is. All right, this NXT was good, although I would like Zelina Vega to return, although everything seems to indicate that both she and Aleister Black are going to AEW. Well, Black is definitely going. It's a matter of put the pen to paper right now for Mr. Tommy End, and I would think, yeah, he's going to go to AEW, but what are you going to do with him? Do you put him in the Dark Order? You put him in maybe Death Triangle? Or you just let him be Tommy End and kick everybody's ass, which I think would be the best choice. Let him be in AEW, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Let him be who he is. Let him be Tommy End. He doesn't need to be, in the Dark Order or anything else. Just let him be who he is. As far as Zelina Vega goes, yeah, she should be with him. She signed. I don't know if she signed a new deal with WWE, and I don't know why. She was at the Performance Center doing something. I don't know if she was training to come back or if she was just there. We still don't know what she was doing at the Performance Center, and like I said, I don't know if she has a 90-day compete clause on her contract. But yeah, I would like to have her come back and have her go to AEW with her husband Tommy End and have her manage Tommy and Andrade. Imagine that. Imagine that tag team. Andrade and Tommy End. Or put them like a big little I don't know. Maybe get somebody else and get a faction going with Tommy End, Andrade, Zelina Vega, and somebody else. Or maybe have Death Triangle break away, break up. You get Pentagon and Rey Fenix to join Andrade's group with Zelina Vega, and then maybe put Tommy End with them, or you just put Tommy End on his own, let Zelina Vega and Andrade have their little Los Ingobernables de AEW faction. That could work. I think it would be great. But I'm not the booker, am I? I'm just a schmuck from New Jersey. A sexy schmuck. But it is what it is. So yeah, so we'll see what happens with Zelina and Aleister Black pretty soon. Hopefully, we'll know when what they're going to be doing, and that's it. All right. More from Alejandro. Who's the one doing the creative controls? Triple H and Shawn Michaels? You mean for NXT or for WWE? I think for NXT, Triple H basically owns NXT. That's his baby. Triple H is the man behind NXT. He is in the back, kind of like with Vince is, there at the gorilla position for Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views and shit like that. Hunter's there with Shawn. Was with Tom Phillips before he got fired. It's with Matt Bloom, the guy that trains everybody, and maybe a couple other guys. I think Tyson Kidd, who I think works with the females. I don't know about Jamie Noble. I think he's on the main show. I don't know if he does NXT, but yeah, I think the creative control is probably Triple H and maybe Shawn at this point. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see what happens with that. But good question, though. Good question. Naomi sucks lately. They haven't been able to get that potential out of her. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets fired in 6 months. I give it 3 months before she gets fired or released. Because they're doing nothing with her at this point. She's just stuck in catering, doing nothing. Eating those cookies that Titus likes to give. Titus loves those cookies. And that's it. That's where, we probably won't be seeing much of Naomi for the next few months. It's a shame. It should be released pretty soon, among others. I keep saying it, both WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, and AEW have a horrible crisis of creative control and have given us crap lately in the events they are different. Really, AEW hasn't really had a bad show in a while. Just them being on Friday nights sucks. That's why they're getting their worst ratings ever right now. 400. Now the lowest they've had is 462,000 views. And they went up by 20,000. They had almost like 490,000. I think it was 482,000 last week, or this past week, I should say. It'll probably be the same this Friday as well. And then next week, they are on a Saturday night. So I don't know how they'll be doing next Saturday night. And then the week after that, they'll be back on Friday night. Then, a couple of days later, you do another Dynamite on Wednesday night. So yeah, July 2nd will be probably the last time we'll see them on Friday night. And then they go back to their regular Wednesday night schedule, where I think they'll get way better, much better ratings. The ratings can come back to about 600,000, 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, maybe close to 1 million. But it's going to be, it takes time. You got to get out of this little rut they're in on Friday night because of the stupid NBA. Then they'll be back on Wednesday nights for the next few months, probably through the rest of the year, maybe, unless they get preempted by basketball between late October and into November and December. And then they're on TBS in January. And a lot of people are like, oh, TBS don't get ratings. We'll have to see. Well, when the first Dynamite on Wednesday night on TBS, we'll have to see what the ratings are for that show. And if it doesn't do a great rating, if it doesn't get over 1 million, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But yeah, Raw has just been horrible. The ratings have just been abysmal. I mean, 1.4 2 weeks ago. I don't know what they did on this past Monday night, but yeah, Raw's garbage. SmackDown did 1.8, I think, this past week. Not doing any better. Just WWE, it just sucks. I know. Wrestling in general sucks in a way, except for it's not really the wrestling per se. I mean, with Raw and SmackDown, it's just horrible rematches after rematches after rematches, horrible pay-per-views, bad creative. With AEW, they just got weird. They're putting on pretty decent matches, decent shows for Dynamite. They're just on a really bad time slot right now. Nobody wants to be on Friday nights at 10 o'clock. Or Saturday, for that matter. But it is what it is, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, we finish up. Alejandro Classa says, he asked me which fans are more toxic, if the Boston Red Sox fans or the ones who complain about AEW. To be honest with you, I would think the people that complain about AEW or wrestling in general are probably the most toxic fans ever. I think wrestling fans, out of all the sports in America and around the world, I think wrestling fans, minus Japan fans, because Japan, number one, Japan's fans are awesome. Yeah, wrestling fans in America are really the blame for the state of professional wrestling right now. That's my opinion. I mean, go about it whatever you will. Take it as a grain of salt. But yeah, wrestling fans are just toxic. It's really, really toxic, especially in this so-called community, this wrestling community on YouTube, not even the YWC or the IWC, because there is no community. It's just filled with idiotic douchebags who think they know everything, and then they're so big and bad. Put themselves over like JD with his big ego. You got people showing that cack, just random freaking things. That's why, there will never be another YWC or an IWC because there is no community. It's full of toxic douchebags. That's it. As far as Boston Red Sox fans go, what's wrong with Boston Red Sox fans? There is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, Yankee fans, yeah, they're toxic. there are freaking idiots there that live in the Bronx. Idiot fans that they are. See, Met fans are classy fans. Some fans are. There's some fans on the the New York Met forums on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram that just talk out of their ass. It's like, oh, Rojas should be fired. You have to make too long, this and that. Making stupid posts about this and that. And when you confront them, like, oh, why am I getting freaking paid? Because you sound retarded when you make those stupid posts. It is what it is, and that's all I got to say about that. But New York Met fans are the best fans in the world. But it is what it is. New York fans are the best. They will, wrestling wise, New York fans are the greatest. They'll just tell it like it is. They'll tell it like it is. Especially if you've been to like an ECW show in New York, or a WWE show in New York, or any show in New York, baseball game, basketball game, whatever. The fans will let you know you suck. And that's pretty much it. That's that. Speaking of the Mets, they won again tonight, 6-3 over the Cubbies. 3-game winning streak right now. Currently 5.5 games up on the Phillies. I don't know what the Phillies are doing right now. I think they were winning 2-0 over the Dodgers. But it is what it is. But the Degrominator pitched tonight. He only pitched 3 innings. Of course, once again, he came out with another freaking injury. Came out with right shoulder soreness. To go with his right flexor tendonitis and his side and his abs, and he's just fucked up. So thankfully, they're gonna skip his next start, which my phone app said he was pitching Saturday. I think that was a misprint, but so yeah, his next start, which I believe will be would have been Monday in that doubleheader against the Braves. That's getting pushed back. So hopefully he'll make his next start in 10 days. So I would think they're going to put him on the 10-day DL, see what happens. Hopefully he can recover, get some rest, get his body back in shape, and hopefully he has no setbacks. And in 10 days from now, which will be as of now, be the 26th to 27th, which will be getting close to that series with the Yankees. Hopefully he can come back, pitch is great, and then I would rest him till the All-Star break, because he's definitely going to be the number 1 guy on the All-Star ballot for the National League. So he's going to definitely start the All-Star game. So I would pitch him one more time and then rest him until the All-Star game. And then at the All-Star game, whoever is the manager, whether it be Rojas, managing the game with some other guys. If it is Rojas, I would have DeGrom go 2 innings, just not to blow his arm out. Let him go 2 innings, and then rest him to his next start. That'll be it. Which will be 5 days after the All-Star game, which will be that weekend. That's what I would do. But I'm not Luis Rojas, and I'm not the Mets. But it is what it is. You don't want to just rush him back out there and he blows his arm. He's out for at least the rest of this year and maybe next year. DeGrom knows his body. So let him, like I said, great idea to skip his next start. Let him get some rest, ice his shoulder, ice his abs, ice his side, ice basically his entire body. And then I wouldn't even have to say tomorrow or maybe this weekend. Let him throw the ball. Let him see how he is after. Let him do some light tossing in the outfield. And then I would say maybe Sunday or Monday or maybe even Tuesday, then do a bullpen session and see how he is. If he says he's okay, you put him in for that start next week. And we'll see what happens with that. But we'll see. But glad they won tonight. They go for the sweep tomorrow with the Strowman on the mound. And then after that, they have a 4-game series against the Nationals. Saturday is a doubleheader. Then after that, they got a 4-game series at home against the Braves, which would be a doubleheader on this Monday night. And then after that, they got a doubleheader with the Filthies. And then they got a makeup game on June the 28th with the Nationals. So, and then the Yankees come to town right around July 4th weekend and right before the All-Star break. So pretty tough games coming up for Los Mets and away for York. And that's it. Yeah, we move on from there. Answer that. All right, we're gonna finish this up. Chuck Rules 321. Cornette may be an asshole, but even he thought it was stupid that Joe was released and was happy that Hunter hired him. Yeah, but still, Cornette's an asshole. But that's all I gotta say about that. All right, Alejandro Klatza says, is the $1 Million Championship going to be a mid-card title or not? I hope it is, to be honest with you. I hope it is defended all the time and not used as a prop like the 24/7 title, which hasn't been defended in a long time or seen on TV in a long time. I mean, it's held by a douchebag like R-Truth who should get released. But Vince loves the guy. He has a big hard-on for Ron Killings. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And we'll move on from there. All right, so enough about that. So that's it. All right, getting back to NXT. Missed anything? Like I said, Kushida beat Trey Baxter or Blake Christensen with the hoverboard lock. Match was all right. Gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, they had a code of honor, and then Kyle O'Reilly comes in and he challenges Kushida for a match next week. So we'll see what happens with that. Should be some good shit, and that's that. All right, let me take a quick moment to poop, and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, we're back after that humongous shit I just took. It is what it is. Jock Brewer says Cornette is an honest asshole. Well, it's better to be an honest asshole than just an asshole. That's pretty much all I can say about that. That's it. All right, I'm gonna finish this up because you know who wants to why, but it's not like that. But you know what it is. Anyway, so getting back to NXT, we move on from Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly getting announced for next week. We go to Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie. We found out that she's gonna be back in the ring next week. But we see her going over to Jessie Kamea and Aaliyah of the Robert Stone brand, saying they would have won their most recent match, which was I think 2 or so weeks ago, if Robert Stone hadn't gotten involved. So Mr. Stone, Robbie E, and comes in, and Taya says the team would have won if they had listened to him a little bit more. So we'll see what happens to that. I think they're gonna kick out Robert Stone, and Frankie Monet is gonna have her own little group with Frankie Monet, with Jessie Kamea and Aaliyah. But we'll see what happens for that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Here we move on. All right, then we go to Mercedes Martinez talking about how she got taken down by Tiencha at pay-per-view, but she isn't going to be held down. She says if Bowie wants to come after her, she said, come get me. And her and Xia Li are 1-1. So she says, get ready for round 3, which could be at the Great American Bash, or it could be pretty soon. But we'll see what happens with that. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right, then we go to the ring. We have a presentation of the $1 million title to Eli Drake, who won the title on Sunday. A great ladder match with him and Cameron Grimes. So we get that. Ted DiBiase's in the ring. We see a video of of Eli coming in a car. I think he had a chick with him, but we didn't see her coming out of the car. It kind of sucked, but it's what it is. So anyway, Eli makes his way to the ring and gets the ring, gets the mic. He's like, let me talk to you. Oh, I was about to say, but gets cut off. But instead, he would rather talk to Ted DiBiase because it is rare that you get to meet your heroes. He says he watched DiBiase growing up, and he always wanted to be Ted DiBiase when they were wrestling in the backyard. He needed Ted DiBiase in the ring just to say thank you, and then they shake hands. And then Eli says, it would be the honor of my life to have you crown me the $1 million champion. So DiBiase puts the title over Eli's shoulder. Then they start laughing, and the fans like the chant for Cameron Grimes. And then Eli says that, well, Cameron has everything, says, I have everything that Cameron wants. Now it's time to get rid of everything he doesn't need. And then he does the most heinous act of them all. He knocks Ted DiBiase out. Ted DiBiase, 60-some-odd years old, taking a bump like that. So he decks DiBiase, and starts yelling on this is my title, and only I can be the one true $1 million champion. After about 5 minutes, can we that? Boom. He comes out safe, and Eli leaves the ring in a pretty big hurry. So it looks like we're going to see Cameron Grimes, Eli Drake round 2 this time for the $1 million title. And we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. And we'll move on from there. All right, there you see Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, still best buddies, and they're ready to get the tag team titles back, which probably won't be anytime soon. But that's that. All right, there we see that little battery charging up again. Now it's up to 11%. So we'll see what happens with that and who it might be. Anyway, then we go to another match. Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez in action as they take on Gonzalo and Kaden Carter. Pretty decent match. Kind of 12.5-minute match. Getting to the end. Looked like Casey and Kaden had a win after a neckbreaker 450 combo on Dakota Kai. Gets near fall as Raquel made the save. And then we see Kaden Carter get sent into the barricade by Raquel Gonzalez. And inside the ring, Dakota picks up Casey Catanzaro and finishes her off with the GTK 1, 2, 3. They get the win. Match was all right. Gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what happens with the team of Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai as weeks go on. And that's it. All right, there we see our good friends in Everrise Rules. So Everrise, we see that they're not happy with Hit Row breaking their house on the Takeover pre-show. We see what they did, like stills of what they did, and then they come back and we see like a broken house being made, and like one of the guys like, I did it, I rebuilt the house, and it's like half, like not even built. Looks like it's falling apart. So it looks like we're gonna see an Everrise Hit Row match coming up pretty soon. And that's all I say about that. So I hear that stars, and we move on. All right, then we go back to the battery, and we see 1%. So 100% probably in the next week or two. So, or might save it for the Great American Bash, which I think be the of a superstar to maybe face off against Killer Cross or whoever is a champion. We'll see what happens with that. And that's it. All right, after that, we see the lovely, my third wife, Io Shirai. And she gets on the mic. She says, I am back. And she's about to say who her next target is. And then Candice LeRae comes out. And Candice talks about how she's no longer an uncrowned champion. And Io picked the wrong time to come back. So they get in the ring. They have a little brawl. And then Indy Hartwell comes in from behind, attacks Io. They're about to beat the crap out of her on the outside, on the announce table. Then Zoe Stark comes out and basically runs them off. So it looks like we're going to see Zoe Stark and Io have a little tag team as they go after the women's tag team champions. So we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. And we move on. All right, after that, we go see Mackenzie Mitchell. She goes to William Regal's office. Joe is with him. They're about to leave the building. And then, they leave the building, and she asks how they feel about how the night's gone. And Regal's about to finish, and then somehow it gets cut off. So they had to redo the segment. But anyway, then we cut to MSK eating some popcorn as Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher on their way to the ring. Thatcher grabs the popcorn. He's just eating it. It's like, popcorn. With he has no teeth. Popcorn. It is what it is, and that's that. So that was all right. I gave that 2 out of 5 stars, and we'll on it. All right. After that, like I mentioned, the Diamond Mine will be opening next week. We'll see what that is. And I think it's going to be the NXT Evolve show. We shall see. It could be something different. That's that. All right. Then we get to the Regal Samoa Joe segment that got cut off. I don't know why. Bad production. I don't know. Anyway, they try to give an update on the evening's festivities, and then we hear Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory come in. Austin Theory is like dressed up like Diesel, and Johnny's like, you can't do that here right now. So basically, they come in and start mocking the joke chants, and they basically kissing up the Joes, like, oh, we're glad you're back, this and that. Austin Theory's doing the stupid Diesel stuff. And then Joe's like, well, I appreciate it, but Johnny, do me a favor, get out. So it's like, okay, we're out of here. So they leave. And then Pete Dunne comes in, and then him and Joe have an epic stare down. So Joe and Pete Dunne had an epic stare down, and Joe and Cross had an epic stare down. I'm loving it right now. Now that Joe choked out Adam Cole, Joe's gonna be in a lot of trouble. A lot of people gunning for him right now. So we'll see what happens with that. So I give that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we move on from there. All right, then we go to the main event: Tornado Tag Team match between Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, so young Drake and Gibson. Pretty brutal match, back and forth they went. We got a Doomsday device. Got broken up. on the floor, beating the crap out of each other. But we get in the ring, and the Veterans Dope team chomp on the floor. They put him through the top of the announce table, which did not break. I am the table. It's that. And then Chomp gets up, hits the air raid crash on Gibson onto the table. Still did not break. Then they go back in as Gibson's done. They start beating the crap out of Drake. Some slaps and all the other good stuff. Ciampa hits Angel's Wings or the fairy tale ending, and then locks in an arm bar, and Thatcher puts in the ankle lock for added pressure, double submission, and that's it. Chris Young Veterans tap out. Pretty good match. I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. So we'll see what happens with Ciampa and Thatcher as they make their way up the ranks in the tag team division, and we'll see what happens next week. All right, so that's it, and then we end the show with an ending segment where we see William Regal go outside with Joe, and he's in his car. Joe's next to him. We think something might happen. So Regal, he's pleased with with Samoa Joe's first night on the job back in NXT. Joe says, "First of many, Mr. Regal." And then we see Regal get in his car and drive off. Now I thought it was gonna, he was gonna get in the car. The car starts going on, and another car slams into it or something like that. Then something bad was gonna happen. Like Regal, they go to Regal, and Regal's busted wide open, and Joe's concerned. He's like, "What the hell? Who did this? Just get somebody out of here!" No, that didn't happen. But so Regal leaves, and Joe had a pretty productive night, and that's all I can say about that. And we move on. All right, so that's it for my review. Thank you all for watching. I gave NXT a solid 7 out of 10 stars, but let me know what you guys think of the show down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channels, follow me on social media, and hit the bell as always. And that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching, everybody. Good night. And if you don't like that, well, fuck you, man. And that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my Raw review on my Killer Demon 69 channel. So thank you all for watching, and good night. Peace, bitches.